What is your dream job? Serious. Lego designer and model tester. Maybe you'll be that designer that reinvents Lego bricks so they would be absolutely harmless to a barefoot. I want to run a food truck near the beach. What kind of food would you serve? I would love to make a living wage just mopping and buffing floors. I find it incredibly relaxing. Other than that, being a writer would be a cool job as well. I clean houses occasionally and it's therapeutic. I hate cleaning my own house because I end up being pissed at my family for being slobs. But I really like the instant gratification when I clean someone else's. It's a lot of work, so I couldn't do it every day. I can totally understand that, and I feel the same way. I seldom enjoy cleaning my own area, but tell me to mop a gymnasium and let me listen to music while I do it, and I'll feel completely content and serene. For me it was sweeping the bottom of the swimming pool in the quiet mornings. So zen. It cannot be rushed, or the sediment on the bottom will be disturbed and mixed back in with the water. One must yield to the pace from start to finish, rewarded by seeing the debris slowly disappear as the pool emerges clean. It felt good just to read that, haha. I'm so happy others feel the same way I do. I always thought I was a little weird for enjoying mopping the way I do. Not weird at all. Now that we have our own house and the maples we planted have grown, I have been enjoying raking leaves, too. Environmental consultant or a national park ranger. I'm currently studying land and wildlife management, so I'm heading in the right direction. This is the first one I've seen that is reasonably achievable. My advice to you, talk to rangers and to enviro consultants. See what they like about it. See what they hate about it. Right now seems like you just generally like the environment, so that's what you're drawn to. There's jobs related to conservation you don't even know exist yet. Thanks for the advice. I currently volunteer at my local park with the rangers, and I'm getting a lot of experience and knowledge from them, so it's a good starting place I think. Thanks for the advice though again. Food critic. I dream I work as a food critic for the Michelin Red Guide. I've always been fascinated by the policy that the Michelin inspectors are anonymous. It's almost like being a spy, but instead of stealing state secrets, you're keeping secrets about steaks. You could have gone with stealing state secrets / keeping steak secrets, you know. Carpenter. What's stopping you? Nothing. I just want to finish college first. Park ranger living in an off-the-grid shack. This is probably an overly romanticized dream job characteristic. I worked at a very remote park for several years, but we at least had slow internet. Many remote parks do. I love reading, hiking, hobbies, etc. But internet was like gold to everyone who worked there. One time the internet went out for 3 weeks and we all almost went crazy. Also, try working in a few different parks with differing government park housing, and you definitely won't want a shack. Yeah, probably. I already live pretty minimally in a small house and still feel like I can downsize more. So living out of a tiny house is something I'm relatively confident about. Oh, for sure. I feel you there. Bad park housing isn't necessarily a space thing, but more of a things not working properly / rodent problem / terrible roommates type of thing. But there are definitely a few dream spots out there. A geology professor with a particular interest in minerals. I love the science behind how minerals are formed, especially the ones that take eons to cool and crystallize inside of a magma chamber. I want to stand in front of bored college students and yammer on about these things all day. The best time of my life was when I was in college. I think I'll be truly happy spending the rest of it at a college. My husband is a geologist. His focus is on geomorphology and we constantly joke about his hate of petrology. We ended up going to Iceland 2 weeks into the relationship. I'm not a geologist, but I love it. Great place if you love geology. He spent the entire trip teaching me things, and it was just amazing. My graduate degree was in geotechnical engineering. A large part of that was geology-based classes. Geology is very cool, actually. Shepherd. Just imagine, you herd a bunch of sheep over some mountains in Iceland. It's just so calming. The gentle jingles of the bells, you and the views offered by nature. You have a small wooden cabin in the woods and have the perfect companion, a dog. Not a human in sight. Wow. This is mine too. I assume there's a cozy cabin in the picture though too. And my faithful sheepdog. And a bunch of books and some way to make music. Perfect. I once encountered a shepherd in the Alps. We didn't speak German and he didn't speak English. He still had us eat dinner and drink beer with him. 1988. This is incredible. I really just want a boring office job where I'm doing well paid office things the whole time without anybody bothering me. And I want to work there only 20 hours per week. That would be awesome. I honestly don't know. I can't be the only one that doesn't have one though. No, same here. I'm really trying to figure out what it is I would like to do. Even if it is far-fetched, at least I'd have something to work for. Forensic anthropologist. My ex took a class on it. They even got to go to the body farm and do some field work. She absolutely loved it up until then. When I was really young I wanted to be a mortician until we dissected our first frog and I found out the smell of embalming fluid makes me violently ill. Writing for a TV show. Me too. Only movies instead of TV. But to me, it's more than a dream. It seems accomplishable. Just whether or not whatever I write will be successful is the real question. I've written a full 53-page pilot with my brother. It seems attainable, but it's about selling it now. You know when you go to a candle shop and there's one called Tropical Sunshine or something vague, or when you open a box of crayons and there's one in there called Awesome or some other bizarre name? Yeah, I want to be the guy that names those. Someone, somewhere, is sitting in their office proud of that board meeting where their boss said we need a name for this bright yellow. That one where they answered happiness and got a raise. I want to be that. Music producer and composer. I want to write music for games and write my own musicals. Some dance and performance would also be great. Crazy I had to go this far to find the music dream. I wanna tour the world in a rock band. I'm hoping when concerts come back I can give it a real shot of making my dream happen. Author and baker. I already work my dream job, but my dream is not a job. Even when I was a kid, the scene in Office Space where Peter shares his answer to what would you do with $1 million resonated so much with me. His answer was nothing. I would relax. I would sit on my ass all day. I would do nothing. Obviously $1 million wouldn't afford that, and I wouldn't spend my time only doing nothing. The idea of my time solely belonging to me is what I really want. Edit. Well, thanks to everyone to crunch the numbers and tell me it is very possible to live off of 1 million the rest of my life. Don't need any more personal finance advice. Also, I have a taste for the finer things in life. Travel. And a growing list of hobbies that are not exactly free. So unless somebody can tell me how to budget in a fully stocked wine cellar, fermentation lab, yearly trips to Europe, musical tickets, wardrobe, and all the other things I enjoy in life, save the pedantic responses. I want to pet kittens and puppies for a living. An obscure cat cafe barista then. Find a cat cafe that nobody visits and you get to pet cats all the time. My dream job is a teacher, except in a well-funded, well-organized, well-staffed school. Sounds like you would need to go to a private school, but then I'd personally feel kind of bad helping rich kids just become more rich, while the rest of the schmucks in public schools become their employees. That's just it. I love the kids, and am constantly frustrated that I can't do more to help. I don't want to leave them. I just want the resources to be able to do my job effectively. Don't really have one, to be honest. I just hate working. Me too. I don't want to do ducking anything. I want to sit around, drink wine and listen to music while $100 bills just appear in my wallet. That is my dream job. I just want to travel the world. That's literally all I want in life, is to explore new places and different cultures instead of staying in my home city my whole life. Look into the Peace Corps. I did that. Best experience of my life so far. Comic artist. Been wanting to be one since I was 8. Doing research about neuroscience. Me too. I'm currently finishing my master's degree in medical biotechnologies, and I work in the neuroscience department. I love this field, but here in Italy doing research is such a hard job. to finally open my own tea shop. It'll have teas from around the world brewed traditionally, and I'll run it with my wife and eventually kids should they choose to work at the shop. Ignoring a total lack of experience, qualifications, and know-how, my dream job is mayor of my city. I think that's the level of governance that most directly allows you to have a positive impact on your community. That are like city council person. Also, astronaut. Always astronaut. You need none of that to be an elected official. Be motivated and present. Talk to people and listen to them volunteer. Go to council meetings. And rich. That helps a bunch. Full-time student. I grew up with untreated ADHD and never went to school. I'm 35 now and medicating. I would love to learn all the thing that interest me. Wouldn't that be heaven? To be paid to learn. You might enjoy journalism. I'm thinking of the people who come up with stories for programs like Radio Lab. They're always coming up with new and interesting topics and accumulating more information to answer their own questions. Full-time trader. Easy enough if you are good at it. Problem is very few people are, so end up being a new witty salesman. Librarian. I worked in a library off and on for a total of 25 years as a clerk. But I never bit the bullet and got my Masters of Library Science that you must have to progress through the career path. Formula 1 driver. I gotta say it is not the easiest thing to try and get into, especially as an American. Astrophysician. I'm not that good at English so I'm not completely sure how to spell it. I'm serious. It sounds interesting. I think you meant astrophysicist, like searching for new stuff out in space, right? Their dream is to be a doctor to the stars, and I sure as hell won't let you tell them otherwise. Actor. I've always wanted to be a Meryl Streep type of Oscar-winning actress. It's not the fame that appeals to me, but the actual work of bringing a character to life in a good movie. I guess it's the high school drama geek in me, but acting is so much fun that the idea of getting paid for it is beyond amazing. Game development. Trying my best right now to get that happening. Just make sure you choose a studio or company you decide to work for carefully. I heard game developers have some very long and stressful weeks towards the end of project deadlines. But that might just be at large studios that pump out games fast. Being a Twitch streamer just seems to me like the most fun job to do. You get to spend time with viewers and basically hang out with them all. Alongside that you are doing it over games you and they similarly enjoy, so you have something to relate to, collab with other streamers, and be able to just have a laugh while gaming. This would definitely be up there. I want to be an idea bouncer. Smart people sometimes get themselves into thought ruts. I would like to be a professional at getting them out of those said ruts. Lawyer. Especially helping people that need legal counseling when it comes to domestic violence. I've been a body piercer for 16 years now, and it's a pretty great job. It'd be damn near perfect if it weren't for the customers. Comic book artist or animator. Would love to make my own comic series / show someday. I can happily say that I have it. I'm a boat carpenter. I'd like to run an animal rescue, I think. Live in a modest home built near the property. I guess if we are going for dream, it'd be a fox rescue. Big area for them to play and a insulated mudroom for them to get indoors with room for me to let them in. Not having a repetitive job. I want every day to be different in some way and always slightly challenging. I'm the opposite. I long for a job that I know exactly what's gonna happen that day. I always tell people that I don't know, but I've always wanted to be an actor. My anxiety always gets in the way of me even trying, and I fear I'll regret it if I don't. Travel blogger, but on my own time. You know how YouTubers or other bloggers / vloggers have a sort of deadline they have to meet, or they'll lose popularity. Yeah, I don't want that, but I want the money and to travel. I would like to become an EMT. Do it, my friend. Even if you do it volunteer with a local rescue squad, the pay for an EMT in the US is total trash. It's super rewarding and satisfying on like a spiritual level. Lots of calls are pretty standard, but you'll finally get the one that hits you right in your soul and make you think, yep, I was supposed to be here for this. Also, EMT school is generally not crazy hard. You can also usually find it offered as a night class. When I finish high school, I plan on becoming a neurosurgeon. This is because my cousin died of a brain tumor and the doctors couldn't remove all of it, so I plan on saving kids who don't have a chance, in her loving memory. My dream job is FBI SWAT. I've been working towards it since high school and am going to enlist in the Marines to help pay for the mandatory bachelor's degree. Edit. Thank you guys so much for the advice. I've been in the Marines for half my life. The GI Bill is nice. The toll it takes on your body and mind to get there is not. You're most likely young and probably don't really know what you actually want. I know I didn't. I encourage you to explore other options first. If you're a dummy like me, we'll welcome you, but you'll hate life for at least a few years. Singer-songwriter. To write meaningful songs that has a purpose in many people's lives. Performing live and entertaining the days of a mass crowd. Building guitars. I actually just started working for a great guitar maker a couple of months ago after quitting a job I hated after 15 years. It's scary changing careers after so long, especially with a family and a house payment to worry about. I decided happiness is more important and took the risk. Hopefully my passion will shine through and I can turn guitar making into a successful career. Hey PSSST. Please subscribe and like.